I've been posting on this YouTube channel for about 4 years. In 2 years, it's been a very consistent journey, maybe a year and a half consistent. But the point is, out of all this time posting, I've gotten to around 4,000 subscribers. It's taken me years to get to this point. And this is the first YouTube channel that I've gotten to 1,000 subscribers ever, because I've had YouTube channels before this. And throughout my YouTube journey, I have looked up every which way to grow a YouTube channel. The first thing you hear is you want to get better ideas, right? Because if your idea is trash, it doesn't matter. After you get a great idea, you want to have a great title for that. You want to have a great thumbnail for that. Then if you have a great title, idea, and thumbnail, then you want to have a great hook, because you want to make sure that the people don't leave within the first 10, 15 seconds, 30 seconds of your video. After that hook, you have to make sure that you're good at storytelling and that you're good at pacing and all these other things, right? I'm just saying all this stuff to you to let you realize that I have been constantly researching and putting my best foot forward on how to grow on YouTube, how to grow my audience, how to get to 1,000 subscribers, which I did, but it took a lot of work, a lot of time on top of, like I said, doing other channels and failing, and then coming to do this one over time. And now I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, get to 10,000, right? But what I've noticed is, even with all these lessons that I've gotten with YouTube over this time, it's that it doesn't always get easier. Sometimes I get videos that do great, and then sometimes I go right back to videos that do terribly. What I'm noticing with YouTube is that there doesn't seem to be an actual secret to grow. Like, I'm really, really, really starting to think that there's no YouTube formula. Like, everything that I've ever read and ever looked at and every video I've ever watched, not that it's incorrect, not that it's inaccurate, because I'm sure all the information is valuable. I'm not going to lie and act like I'm not going to try to use any of that information for this video or future videos. But I'm just saying, you apply all of these things, and not only do you apply them, you try to constantly get better, right? Because I'm also not oblivious to the fact that, sure, I can know this information and try to apply it, but just not be good at applying this information. So that's fair too, right? I could just happen to make bad videos, right? But after trying to apply all this information and everything, eventually you would think you would get better somehow, some way, shape, or form, just with enough repetition. A lot of times, if you repeat something over and over and over, you get better. But I'm realizing, even though time is passing, I can still have these videos that do very, very bad and go for long stints of time of posting where that's the case, right? So that's what's making me think that, sure, all of these other tips are great, they're good, they can help you, but there's no true YouTube formula. There's no true thing that's gonna make your channel stand out and grow, that's gonna make your channel blow up overnight. And I know there's some channels that seem like they do have the YouTube formula, right? Like, I've seen channels from people that made their channel a month ago that have more subscribers than me, and it doesn't seem to be, from what I know at least, a person that was already well known on the internet. It's just somebody that started posting last month and they're already doing good. A person that started posting last year and they're already at 50,000, they're already at 100,000. There have been people that have posted for 1 year and have already gotten to 1 million, right? Those people make you feel like, okay, it's gotta be possible. Like, there must be some sort of formula. But I don't know. My own experience tells me that there is no real formula. Like, I'm looking for something that doesn't exist. I'm looking for something that is not there. And maybe part of the problem with trying to grow on YouTube is trying to constantly analyze all of these things and all of this information so you could get to the point that you want to get to. But sometimes overanalyzing things can be bad. An example I'm going to use is fitness, because I love fitness, right? So an example would be, there could be a guy that went to school, right? And they went to high school, then they went to college, they majored in exercise science, stuff like that. They went and got a master's in exercise science. Then they went and got a personal trainer certification from different, places that gave them the certification. After that, they went and got more certifications to have more specialties and things like that. And whole time, this person has all of this knowledge, right? Like a wealth of knowledge, a master's, bachelor's, certifications, multiple ones, specialties, everything. But they are in terrible shape. They're in bad, terrible shape. And then you have the guy that's living in the hood, or that's been to jail, or whatever the case may be. And They don't study any of the science behind working out, but when I'll tell you, they work out and they look like how you want to look. They got the muscles that you want to have. Like, they are what you want to be when it comes to physical fitness, strength, conditioning, all of that. While the person that studied all of the information, that gathered everything that there is to know about fitness, did not get to the thing that that you would want to be. They are not the model example of what you would want to look like. They're not as strong as you want to be. They're not as big as you want to be. They're not as lean as you want to be. They just have a wealth of knowledge in their head. But the person that doesn't have that wealth of knowledge is still somehow significantly better than them in regards to actually applying the information, even though the person that doesn't know the information, that's the thing. They don't know the information. They're still good at it. You know what I'm saying? So you can have two sides: the person that knows everything and can apply it, and person that can apply all the stuff and they don't know nothing about it. They just know how to grow muscles. And that's what it is. They don't know no science behind it. And that's kind of what YouTube is feeling like to me. I feel like right now I'm kind of becoming the person that's studying, like, here's the hook, here's the title, here's the thumbnail, here's the idea, here's this and that. I'm studying all these things, but I'm the guy that's not in shape. I'm the guy that's too skinny, and all I have is book smarts. When in reality, if I need to stop, spending so much time on all these book smarts and just go ahead and work out and do it in unorthodox ways that people haven't heard of, maybe not be considered the best, maybe that's what I got to go ahead and do if it's going to get me the results that I'm looking for. I want to be that guy who is not overly studying, but still has the result. The guy who didn't get the masters, but they still have the body. They master the body. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I'm feeling. And that's why I kind of feel like there's no YouTube formula. Like, sure, there's a book you could study. There's information you could read. There's all this other stuff you could put in your brain. But when it comes to actually executing and getting the job done and being who you want to be, just like the guy who studies fitness extensively versus the person that just does street workouts and has all the results that you could ever ask for. I'm trying to make that transition. And first, that transition starts in my head. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to still continue to try to apply everything that I think that I've learned over time, because obviously something has to change. Something has to give. There has to be some part of me that, starts to act like the person that just does the street workouts. There has to be some part of me that's willing to try something different, even though it's against the grain and against the rules. Now, do I think I could completely erase the rules in my head? No. But man, look, I'm really just thinking there's no YouTube formula, and I got to stop looking for the formula, and I just got to start doing the workouts, quote unquote workouts in this analogy, that are going to get me to my goals and get me to 100,000 subscribers, get me to 1 million subscribers, get me all the views and get me where I want to be. If there's anybody that's tried to grow a YouTube channel that feels exactly how I feel, let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is J.A.G Gaming, and I'll catch you on the next one.